candidate. She was one of my former students. I didn't even
That's
see.
funny. Oh my gosh.
She was smart as a whip. I played softball with her brother.
Oh, that's good.
Like he was a
The
kid, but he played on our adult team. Like we brought him in as a ringer. He was a good baseball
That's
player.
funny. The thing I loved about the Valley Flowers was that every year the Greek ladies made their baklava. Dude, I love their freaking baklava. Oh my gosh. Like I would wait all year just to get their baklava. Like that was my big thing. Like I loved the baklava. So
I don't think I ever had baklava.
oh, it's so
Is it
good.
like sweet or is it savory?
It's sweet. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's like they have it a lot of times at like the Food and Wine Festival. But like it's like that layers of phyllo dough, like that really flaky dough, and then it's honey and nuts usually mixed together, and it's so good. I need to get some baklava because I haven't had it in a long time. Oh,
There's only two candidates. They got a 50-50 chance.
is there really only two candidates?
There's only two on the website, it looks like.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh wait, 2021. That wouldn't have been this year though. No, because there's the queen, Brooke Stropman. She was talking about here's our sponsors because this will give you the rundown of Florissant. Here we go. The winner was from the Locker Room.
Guys, of course.
We went for happy hour after school. Cannoli's Restaurant was the runner-up.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see. Here's the special maids. North County Churches United.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, Goldmark Enterprises.
Yes.
Handyman Hardware.
Of course.
Handyman.
Oh my god.
LA Dance. Now my girlfriend in high school helped start that dance studio.
Oh, that's fun.
You know, that was over on Howder Shell.
Yes.
From not the Boatmans, but the Bank of America by Coke Park.
Yes.
VFW Post 4105, the sponsor of my baseball team when I was a kid, the Eagles.
Of course.
On the back it said VFW 4105. And then the Boyle Law Firm.
Oh, I know Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a JC with me for a while.
That's so funny though. Like just see those names like Locker Room. I haven't thought about Locker Room in 5 years.
Oh, Locker Room. I mean, we didn't go there a lot, but like I do remember them having like popcorn. That's the one thing I remember.
Free popcorn, right? And some days they had like free wings, even like during happy hour, like on Fridays. And we used to go and just like after school, and Paige was little. Paige would climb up into the Papa Shop machine and just start shooting baskets. We'd put her inside the machine and she'd play in there.
That's hysterical. Oh my god. I'm sure they love that.
They didn't care. That place was decorated cool because they had like all the 70s like tenants and stuff. Oh god,
yeah,
that was awesome. Anyway,
that place is awesome. Well,
all right, close this. All right, let's see. Okay, here's what we're doing. Here we go.
All right, let's actually do a show. We could have totally done the Valley of Flowers show.
We should have. I know. Tell me about it. You know what? I'm saving that for Mike in the Midwest.
Gotcha. That would be a Mike in the Midwest. That would be a lot of fun to listen to.
It would. We should do it together.
We should do it together.
Because you've done it. You're one of the only people I know that's done it like me. Because
yes,
nobody else even knows what it is.
Yes.
What'd your mom say? Rikki hot too? What?
I have no idea.
Let me. Your mom drinking?
Possibly. It's quite. I got to be in a lot of floats. Yes, I did, because I couldn't run for frickin' Valley of Flowers because we didn't live in the stupid city of Florissant. So I never got to actually be.
Yeah, you had to work. My grandpa drove my ex-girlfriend when she was in the MG when because she liked my grandpa. She's like, would your grandpa drive me in the MG of the parade? My grandpa did. He loved it.
That's funny.
There was a bakery in Ferguson. Yeah, I know the bakery. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it's down by my church on Florissant Road, South Florida.
I'm not bitter, Mom. Just saying. I'm only a little bitter.
I was only in it once with my baseball team. I
got to be in the parade a lot, but I'm not bitter about the fact that I couldn't run for Valley Flowers Queen. No, not bitter at all.
Everybody go down to the shelter at the Knights of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Gather round.
Exactly.
Mayor Egan to be up there. Mayor Egan was
Mayor Egan. Yes. God.
This is a memory lane, man. Okay.
We should totally do the Valley of Flowers.
Like, shut up. We do not care about your little podunk little festival.
We should totally do the Valley of Flowers, Mike, in the Midwest. I will be on that one with you.
Our town was 50,000 people. It was a big deal.
It was totally a big deal. I got to work it. I got to work because I used to work for the city of Florissant. So like I got to work the parade, like actually film it. That was fun too.
Oh yeah, did you shoot it down by the shelter workshop at the end, like down by St. Francis?
Well, yeah, right there. Yeah. I got to be part of that. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to be in the bucket truck actually one time. They actually put me. Yeah, they put me in the they put me up there, and they're like, "Okay, you're gonna be in the bucket truck," and I'm like, "Okay." So I just.
Here's the other thing my grandpa did. So he had a big F-150 back in the day, like when trucks were trucks, like the big dudes, right?
Yes.
Full size pickups. He would go up on Saturday night and back in across from the bank. You know, the bank that was across from like Kimball's, like next to the city hall.
Yes.
The parking lot, same side of the street as City Hall, but like on the other across the street.
Yes.
You back in, we had a prime spot. So then what you would do is you just bring up because my grandparents live in Harrison, so 2 blocks over. So we go to church, eat real fast because the parade started at 2, but the pre-parade was like 1:30 or something. Like
yes, yeah, it was so 1:30. Yes. Yeah.
So you would just hustle up, bring all your lawn chairs. We had this big bed of a truck, and we just
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh man. Oh, you guys have 3 queens.
We did have 3 queens, and we had a first runner-up, and we had at least 1 special maid, maybe 2. Yeah.
I don't think my girlfriend won. I know she didn't win. I don't know if I think she got like a special award or something, but she wasn't the queen.
Gotcha.
She's got a big old head. Jennifer Castillo.
Oh my God.
I guess we're dangerous. Just saying.
Yeah.
Should we do a podcast?
Oh my God. We should probably do one.
1896. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to CenCom Cable, public access.
Welcome to the Valley of Flowers podcast.
Dude, I just said CenCom Cable. That's what it was called when I was like 6 in Florissant. That was like the first cable we had was CenCom. I haven't mentioned that word probably since I was in elementary school. My brain is messed up.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
That is crazy, CenCom Cable. But I do remember I used to love the little Florissant channel with the little community access shows.
Yeah, that's what I used to work for. I used to work for that channel. Yeah,
why didn't we have a show on?
I used to do. So I used to be in charge of I would I was the host of the council action show. So
oh my God, that is a good show.
I had to interview the council members after the council meetings. Oh, the worst one I ever had was my first one, and it was my birthday. And I had the one guy who didn't want to talk about anything. And so I legit asked him all the questions, and we were done in 5 minutes, and the show was a half an hour. And I'm like, okay, well, I legit.
You're probably too young to remember. You remember the house in Florissant that they were going to put siding on? It was the big deal. I think it went to the Supreme Court. They put question marks on the outside of the house because they would not let them put siding on it. So they're like, screw you. They took everything off the house, down to the insulation, and put question marks, and it went to the Supreme Court.
Oh my God.
That was a big deal on that channel. They were always talking about it.
That's funny. I don't remember that one. That was before I was on council action.
Yeah, it was probably before that. I just remember we used to drive past it. It was on that street where St. Dennis. It was the one that goes next to Sacred Heart.
Oh yeah.
You go down, if you're going towards Patterson, by the White Castle.
Yeah.
But it was on that street. But they finally won. They got to put siding on it. But it was crazy because they had question marks.
Yeah, I did council action for 4 years, something like that. Yeah.
Well, there was somebody with your. So was there somebody related to your mom?
No. So ironically enough, he's not related to us. Well, not
always seeing that name.
Not that we know of, but he's not related. I'm sure somewhere along the line we're related, but we're not actually related. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, Kate's dad grew up in Ferguson, Florissant. This is a small world.
People. It is.
This is the Valley of Flowers show.
It is. It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to hurry. You keep looking at your watch. You're giving me self-conscious.
No, I keep getting text messages. Okay. I keep getting.
Okay. It's Donna okay, that was wrong. That was wrong.
Yeah, no. It's actually it's Twitter messages telling me that news is happening, but it's not important news. So.
There you go. We'll talk about that. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay, got it.
We'll talk about Disney on this show. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, that's right. Katie's over on the east side, but she's far enough east.
She's far enough east. Okay.
You don't want to be on the very west side of the east side. That's you want to be on the east side of the east side.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 18. But this is way more fun. Oh my gosh, Betsy spent her summers here too.
That's awesome.
I once fell off the tank at Bangor Park, knocked my wind out. I thought.
See, I don't also, why on earth would they let us climb that tank? Like that
tank was it's still there, I think.
I don't think you can climb it anymore though. I think it's blocked off.
Really? Shut up.
Yeah, I think it's blocked off. But like seriously, like who had that idea that it was a good idea to climb a giant tank?
It was
like,
awful. You'd hang off the gun.
Oh yeah, like completely. Like why? I mean, I was terrified to climb it because again, I was terrified of heights. But like, whose idea was it that that was a good idea? I don't understand. Like, why is this? And that was totally a thing you did.
About us. Yeah, I'm gonna blow Kate's mind. Watch this. I used to skate all the time at Rock Roll Arena.
There you go.
She's gonna be like, "What? That's my skating rink."
Right?
Yeah, it is, because that's where I skated with Nikki Zugelmeyer, who was my relay partner when I was a kid, and she went on to win 5 medals in the Olympics.
That's crazy.
She outdid me in
Lillehammer. I would say so. Yeah.
92.
That's awesome. Go her.
She was also the best limboer I have ever seen on roller skates. She could get as low as the top of her skates.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yes, see, I told you, I blew her away. There you go. Yeah, I told you. Yes, Rock Roll Arena. Yes, off Richardson Road. I once dated a girl from Barnhart too, down that neck of the woods. That was a mistake. I used to have to drive all the way to Barnhart. You know how far Barnhart is?
Yeah, I don't.
It's long.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I used to speed skate at Fun Spot. That was my jam. Greg owned it. Greg Parson and his wife. Oh, what was his wife's name? But yeah, we skated there. I skated with Heather, and Heather was my relay partner at that point. Let's see. There were Mark Krug. Oh my gosh. Chris Ripper, I think was his name. Oh yeah, dude. I was over at Fun Spot 2-3 nights a week, like in the mid 90s, because we practiced at spinning wheels at 5. Then we practiced at Fun Spot at 9:30.
Oh my gosh.
Denise, that is it. Dude, Kate knows. That is yes, the part it was Greg and Denise Parson, or pretty sure it's Parson. He drove a Porsche.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. To her in-laws neighbor. This is like a small world after all.
It is.
Did you ever go to Fun Spot in Belleville? So they had a big, nice rink, but they also had a little beginner rink on the side.
Gotcha.
It was really cool. It was a lot better than spinning wheels.
Oh, look, Daisy wants to get in on the fun.
Yeah, great. She's like, get on with the show.
Right? Exactly. I want mom.
Yeah, Fun Spot was the jam. So here's the other thing. So I started hanging out with all these Fun Spot kids. I promise, this is the last story. Then we're starting, because I got to get stuff done tonight. But this is totally great. You'd like this, Ricky, I think. So this was like when I was seriously trying to make, like, because inline skating was being talked about being an Olympic sport, right? In the mid 90s. So I was like, if it's going to be, I'm being the first one. I gave up college baseball scholarship for this, to have this chance. And it was a big mistake. But we'd practice at our rink at 5. We'd practice over at Belleville, which was an hour and 10 minutes from my house, at 9:30 when that public session got over 2 nights a week. After practice at 11, we'd all go to Denny's, and we'd just tear up Denny's like at midnight, because we'd all practice 2 times within like 6 hours and burned probably 3,000 calories.
100%.
We just destroy Denny's. But then other nights we went to this thing, Kate might know. It was called Dixie Stampede is what they called it. And what it was a band. And they went around to all those Southern Illinois, like little cities. Like they'd be in like, oh dude, what are the little, we went to all these little towns, like little towns though, around Belleville, like Mascoutah, or what's the one that starts with an S? We went to Staunton one time.
Yeah, I went to Staunton one time.
They would play in all these little towns. And so like everybody, I mean, like from every town anywhere around would come, like there'd be cars everywhere.
Yes.
And you would do the line dancing thing. But they were called Dixie Stampede. We went all the time. It was so
interesting.
Fun.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let me yell at Daisy. Hold on.
So this is my life. This is the mid 90s after high school, during college.
Right.
And it really made for college. I had an 8 o'clock class, world geography that semester, and it was rough because I wouldn't get home till 2:30.
Oh my God.
And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, I DJed at a club. It didn't even close till 2:30. And that was in Fairview Heights. Corvettes in the Ramada. What was it, 64 and 159 across the street from what's that called?
Yeah,
St. Clair Square.
Yes, St. Clair Square. Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun job though. I love being a club DJ because you can just go up in the booth and nobody even mess with you. And you play those long remixes that'd be like 28 minutes long. Just go.
That's funny.
With the boots and something. Boots and hats and boots and hats and boots and hats. Oh, whatever. Anyway. All right. We're going to start. Okay. We got to let the dog go. That's driving me nuts. Okay. Dog, stop.
You want me to get her? Hold on.
Just let her go for a walk.
I can't let her out without me being with her.
Just say be back in 45 minutes. We'll be done.
Brian's not here.
Those air tags that Apple has. Just put on the collar and then you
can right, exactly.
That's what I would do.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, what other stories can I tell? So yeah, we speed skated 5 nights a week. 2 of the nights twice because we'd practice in Missouri. Then we'd have another practice in Illinois. Yeah, good times. I should go get my skates. They're out in the garage, but they don't fit anymore because my feet have gotten so swollen because I run too much. Oh my gosh, Kate's husband was a DJ and a floor guard at Fun Spot. I guarantee you we know a lot of the same people. Guaranteed. Do you know? So Kate, if you're still here, you remember the Muellers, Heather and her brother? They all speed skated with us. I think she's a lawyer now. But like their mom was super nice. She was like kind of like the team mom.
Oh. Sorry, the neighbor is outside. I don't understand what she's barking at now. She's upstairs. Hold on.
Turn on your heart light. Do. Hello, Dennis. We're talking. Hey, Dennis is from St. Louis too. This is a community meetup right here. We're all talking stories from around St. Louis. So I guess, Kate, you don't know about the Dixie Stampede thing, right? What was that? Oh, one of the towns we went to was called Hecker, Illinois. And we went to Marissa. We used to play baseball in Marissa all the time for Legion. God, that was a long drive. Oh my gosh, 2 hours.
Okay, we're back.
Now Rachel has no idea what we're talking about because she's in I believe Singapore.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, she definitely would have no idea what we're talking about. Lay down, Boo. Lay down, Boo.
If you're yawning, go to bed. Go to bed.
Lay down, Boo.
Quit. I'm not as nice because I don't have my dog. My dog's in Columbia. It makes
there are people outside in the backyard behind us, so that's why she's freaking out because there are people in her. She sees them.
She doesn't usually see people.
Not in the backyard. No.
Okay. Trying to go see him again.
Yeah.
Don't let her go.
I won't.
Hold her. Just hold one of her legs. Her like back right. Just hold on to that one tight.
Got it.
Yeah, Kate, we got to get the scoop here. Yeah, because that's so funny. Yeah, Greg and Denise, man. God, because I used to skate with, because Greg was good friends with because I worked at Spinning Wheels roller rink with the owner, Ron. Ron was the owner of our rink. He was best friends with Greg, and that's how we all skated together.
Got it.
Gateway Speed Team. I still have my skins. Should I go put on my skins, my skin suit like they wear?
No, please don't.
Triathlon. I haven't had one since the mid-90s.
Please, yeah, there's probably a reason why you shouldn't put it on.
Oh no, I might be skinnier now than I was in the mid-90s. I don't know. It was crazy.
No, please.
Oh, yeah, it was so fun. Oh man, God, yes. I might have to go put on the skin suit and just bust a couple laps around the cul-de-sac.
If you do, please take pictures and video.
I'm sure Mallory.
Have him take video. Yes.
Yes, that's a good idea. Probably not to take.
Mom didn't take me to roller rinks, but I did go to Spinning Wheels when I was in high school. Finally, yeah, I finally went to Spinning Wheels in high school. It was either 8th grade or high school. It had to have been high school because I remember skating to "Quit Playing Games with My Heart" by the Backstreet Boys. And
I was probably DJing. I bet you I was DJing because I DJed every session from the time I was 15 on, just about for.
Like years. I remember that was like the jam. I remember like trying to learn how to skate because I couldn't skate. So I remember learning how to do that with "Quit Playing Games with My Heart." Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I grew up there because my next door neighbors owned it, and so the lady was our babysitter. So she'd just take us up there while it was closed during the day, and we'd skate around. She'd turn the lights on, give us some skates.
That's funny.
All right, let's do a podcast. Okay. Got that out of there. Here we go.
Yes.
1896 for May 7th. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 1896 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. So glad that you are here for some fun and today, practical Disney talk. Now that's debatable. Some weeks it's not very practical, but we're going to try this week to make this one worth your while on your next trip to give you some tips to maybe kill two birds with one stone, because this is a graduation season and we're going to try to help you out with that in a certain way. So joining me today for the fun conversation, we have Rikki, who takes care of everything over at themouseforless.com. What's up, Rikki?
I do. And I hope that you all enjoyed following along, because I actually got to be at Universal this week. So I got to ride the Velocicoaster. So I'm
get the dog this stuff.
Sorry. The neighbor is in the, hold on. I will do
neighbor.
Something.
Hey. We're
I know.
Here.
Like, they are never outside ever. So of course that makes sense.
It's dark. Right? It's almost dark here.
No, it's not dark here. Hang on.
I thought it was dark here. It's not dark. I thought it was. Sorry, I'm just picky. I promise we'll do a podcast. I promise people. We'll do. You're not kidding, Frankie. That's a ton of shows. And we've done 45 Mike in the Midwest episodes now. We're getting really close to 2,000. That's a very good point, Frankie. That's typically how we go. That's right. Because the thing is, Rikki's going to the Velocicoaster media event. We're recording ahead of time because I'm going to be out of town. Then Pam and Rikki are going to be out of town. So we're getting the episodes ahead of time. But by the time this airs, she will be back from the Velocicoaster media preview at Universal. So that's why she said that. No, this has been fun, Kate. I could do the show on this. I'm just saying. This is awesome. Talk speed skate and 90s roller rinks. I'm in. Oh no, now our mic's not working. This is just a nightmare.
No, I'm good. I had you on mute.
There we go.
I muted it. I put her in her cage, so that'll help.
Did you put the little thing over it like a bird, and
she can't see anymore, so she's fine.
Oh, dude, now Jennifer's going to Fritz's tonight.
You're going to the wrong place. You have to go to Doozles.
No, Fritz's.
Doozles.
The Fritz's went to my church
Doozles.
When I was growing up. They started that. Yeah, they were from our church. Fritz's. Doozles. Every time I think of Doozles, I think of Burgeons, because it was Burgeons when I was a kid. And my grandma got her milk there in glass jars.
Yeah.
But now, Oberweis sells it for like $7 a gallon or whatever, how much it holds.
That's crazy.
Anyhow, all right. I'm just so distracted by the chat. You guys are killing me.
I know.
Okay. Here we go. I got frog in my throat now, of course. Hang on. All right. 1896 still. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1896 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. So glad to have you back here for some fun. And today, practical Disney talk. At least we're going to try. We are in the season of graduations, and we're going to give you some tips that if you have a graduate among you, and I do actually, tomorrow, as this show airs, tomorrow heading out to Mizzou for our second Mizzou graduation. That's right. They let Paige graduate again with her master's degree.
What? That's
in
crazy.
basketballology.
That's awesome.
No, it's actually, I don't know what it's in, but it's in something. Her first degree was in biochemistry, so I don't even know. She was a grad assistant with Mizzou women's basketball, and all of a sudden she's got a master's degree. So
who knew?
I'll find out tomorrow when we sit in the crowd and the hand or something. Whenever she stands up with that school, whatever. I'm glad you got a master's degree. So it is the graduation season. We're heading out to Columbia tomorrow. So very excited for that, man. It's been a busy time. Mm-hmm. Speaking of busy times, we're all kind of in and out of Central Florida. So joining me today, we have Rikki from the mouseforless.com. What's up, Rikki?
Well, I hope you all enjoyed my surprise trip to Universal this week. I got invited to the media preview for the Velocicoaster. So I obviously, as of this recording, I haven't ridden it yet, but I am super excited to get the opportunity to ride the Velocicoaster. And yes, I am aware that it has dinosaurs. I am only mildly afraid of the fact that it has dinosaurs. But it's a coaster, so the dinosaurs aren't going to be like in my face all the time, so we should be all right. So yeah.
See, that's where we differ. Like the dinosaurs wouldn't bother me on this roller coaster. It's
the actual coaster.
The coaster. Like Pam and I had this discussion before we recorded the show on Wednesday, and we kind of both agreed that it looks really, really cool, but I maybe past my time to get on something that shakes me up that much at this point.
Well, we shall see how much it shakes me up, but it looks amazing, and I can't wait to actually get on it. So if you missed all the fun, you can find it on the Mouse for Less's social, because I will have lots of content, probably. I'm assuming by this time it will already be posted. So hopefully there's lots of good content.
And we'll get you on a future episode here soon. We'll get your thoughts on the podcast to get it out there and see what you think.
Yeah, exactly. So more to come on the Velocicoaster.
All right. So we're kind of a two-part show today. The main part of this show is that we're going to talk about, and stay with me here for like 30 seconds as to how we got here. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a show with Pam's not here. So it's just Rikki and Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Rikki and Mike are both from a town north of a little suburb north of St. Louis called Florissant.
Mm-hmm. Little
history lesson. Everybody strap in. Remember, I used to be a teacher. Florissant in French means the Valley of the Flower. No, it actually means Valley of Flowers. Okay, because I have a terrible accent.
Yes.
But that's actually what Florissant means if you look at it. But at least that's what they always told us in school.
I never true, yes.
But I mean, everybody in Florissant believes it, so I guess it is true. Anyway, the first full weekend of May. Now you got it. If you lived in Florissant, this was important. If like the first, say Saturday was the first,
correct. Nope.
Not Valley of Flowers weekend.
It
had to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full weekend.
Yes.
That meant it was Valley of Flowers weekend.
Correct.
And this was a big deal where we grew up. I mean, this was our little town's festival. We had our big town's parade. Everybody was in it. The ball teams, the dance studios, the Catholic churches, all the churches, bands. We had the big Schnook shopping cart.
Yes.
Oh, it was huge. It was awesome. Then you had your fair, you had your rides.
Yes.
Then you had your queen coronation at the end of the whole deal, like on Sunday at around 3.
Yes.
All the businesses, Ricky's parents had a photography studio. They always sponsored a queen candidate. I mean, you look forward to this thing for the whole year.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it was all you did. So anyway, this weekend would have been, thanks COVID, would have been the Valley of Flowers weekend in Florissant for 2021. Not happening. Hopefully it'll come back next year. So real quick, Rikki, I mean, am I overselling the Valley of Flowers to somebody that's from Florissant?
No, absolutely not. Like the Valley of Flowers was the thing you look forward to. I mean, at the end of the year, like the school year, like that was what you look forward to. You get to go hang out with your friends at the fairgrounds. You get to go to the craft fair. You got wait,
what? There was a craft fair? I never went.
Yeah, I know. That's where I got the baklava that we talked about earlier that I loved so very much. I need to get some more baklava in my life because I haven't had it in so long. And there was, the parade was such a huge part.
It was over an hour long. It was
totally.
Long.
This was not a short little parade. This was a very, very long parade, like over 100 units in this parade. And it took over the entire town. And I'm not joking. Like it went from one end of the town to the other, pretty much the whole thing. So this was a huge deal for our city. So
I just thought of something. I was in the parade a second time. We talked about this in the pre-show. This one I forgot. We had a mascot at the skating rink. It was a big polar bear.
Oh no.
I put on a hockey jersey with a hockey stick and skated that entire route. And it was hot that year.
Yes.
Polar bear costume.
That is fantastic.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
Pictures of that. Oh man. Spinning wheels polar bear.
Yes. Oh yes. That's amazing.
It was awesome though. The whole thing. Florissant, you can look it up. Just Florissant Valley Flowers. There's all kinds of stuff online about it. But anyway, and every town's got that, right? I think everybody grows up somewhere. You get excited for your, a lot of people do it. A lot of towns do it like in the fall, like a fall festival. Ours was in the spring because we're the Valley of Flowers. Why does that? Who cares, right?
Yeah, who cares?
It's
Yes.
like, what? Would you lost your stuff? Is this Mike in the Midwest? Is this a Patreon thing? No,
Nope.
this is what we do. Anyway, here's the connection. So right now it's early to mid May. It's graduation season. You know, it's kind of late prom season for most people and that are having proms, and it's graduation season. And some people are walking this year, which is awesome. Some people still aren't having the ability to walk in their ceremony. However, you know, the one thing everybody I think still wants to do is like graduation pictures. You know, you just want to have that memento of, you know, I've got pictures from my senior year, what have you. Now, if you're heading to Walt Disney World, you could take some great pictures there. I know your mom's probably in the chat saying, and back in the day, like, I guess we'd killed her, because professional photographers, yes, they do a better job, but cameras are pretty good nowadays and times are what they are. So if you're going down to Walt Disney World, in a second, we're going to talk about places that have kind of year-round flowers or backdrops besides like the purple wall. I mean, that's
exactly,
that's a given. We're going to talk about some unique spots where you may take like a senior picture.
I mean, if anybody,
because you do it all the time.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't done it lately because, you know, I mean, COVID has me more in the house than not. But that's kind of one of the joking things that I got started on Instagram was I would go out and find like these random places, whether that be in Walt Disney World or around here in Atlanta or, you know, wherever. And I'd be like, these look like senior pictures. So I would go and I'd sit wherever and I'd pose and I'd take senior pictures. So that's how like the whole thing, the joke started on my Instagram was I'd go and take senior pictures, and I still do it. Yeah, exactly. So
senior picture. Anyway, so if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube and you have a suggestion, just drop it in the chat. We'll add it here in the show. We're just looking for great backdrops, especially floral, like places where you can find a floral bed that would work for a backdrop. But before we get into that, I thought this would be kind of interesting for about 10 minutes. Okay. So you went down to do the Velocicoaster preview and see all that stuff, because you're associated with the Mouse for Less and of course the podcast and all this stuff. People ask me all the time, like, what's it like to be a travel agent? Like, what does your day look like? Because it is, and really my days, some days are pretty predictable. Some days aren't, depending on discounts and so forth. You put all this content over on the Mouse for Less, but you also have people that write for you. So just 10 minutes or less, like, what is it like trying to keep all this news and all these, you know, menus updated, all the information valid? Like, what do you do with the Mouse for Less?
It is utter chaos. My brain is like, woo. Yeah, it's a good thing I can multitask. Let's just put it that way. So a lot of what I do is, of course, news related. So the first thing that I do is I stay on top of the news, mostly through Twitter. Obviously, that's kind of where news comes in a lot, but I follow it everywhere. And as soon as a news story breaks, I'm sitting there ready to go. Like, I am ready to write an article just about. So that way that we can share these articles with everybody else. So that way they can get up to date as well with, you know, the latest and greatest, and not just Walt Disney World, but Disneyland, Universal, and of course, Disney Cruise Line. So, you know, I get the content out there. That way I'm writing articles, and the good thing is I've been doing this long enough that I'm pretty quick at writing them. So for me, it doesn't take long to sit down and bust out an article or two or five, depending on what day it is. Because if you know anything about Disney, they don't just release like one news story a day. Like it's never a time where I just have like one news story. It's always like none or everything in the kitchen sink is dropped.
For example, I mean, as travel agents, we're on this, and you're on the same list where, you know, they want to get their message out for certain things. So like tonight, right before we start recording, I get this email.
Yes, I got the same email.
On the Disney destinations. I mean, it tells me about, a new prefix menu at Palo and Remy. But I mean, there's also like 17 other stories that are not related to cruise line, Disneyland, you know, Walt Disney World. You're right. I mean, it's a dump. So it is. So do you have to kind of cipher through and say, you know, these are going to be my top 5 things to talk about now, and then maybe we'll get to these other things if we need to, or how's
Absolutely, 100%. So I take the big stories, the ones that are like the pressing stories, and I, you know, I actually do write my articles from scratch. So like I take the articles and I rework, you know, I read them and I get all the information that's important out of the article, and then I rewrite it. So, you know, I completely write my articles from scratch. And then from there, so like I said, I start with the big stories, and then I work my way through some of the smaller stories. So if smaller things get released, then I will pepper those in, you know, as I have time to do. But the big stories are the ones that I start with to make sure that, like, obviously the things that people are going to talk about the most are the things that get written first. So that's kind of where I start, and then of course, a big part of my job with the Mouse for Less too is getting the social media out there as well. So, of course, I have to share those stories as well. So I share them on all of our social media channels. But then another big part of my job is to actually, we've started doing videos of the news stories as well, because, everybody gets their content in different ways. Some people like to read the content. Some people would rather watch the content, and hear it this way. I mean, obviously podcasts, people like to listen to the content, or if you watch, our YouTube channel or Facebook Live, a lot of people like to watch the show this way too. So I've started doing the news articles that way as well. So that way people have a choice of how they get their news. So I will film a brief little news segment, and then I will put that out. I will edit it together, and then I will put that out on our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed to the Mouse for Less YouTube channel, you absolutely should be. So head on over there now and go subscribe, because not only do I put out the news stories, but I also put out lots of fun Disney content and stuff like that. I'm sure you'll see videos of the Velocicoaster coming up here soon if I don't already have them up. So that kind of stuff. And then I also get the articles on Facebook. So the videos go out on Facebook, and then I also put them out on Instagram as well. Just because, everybody has a different medium that they are, go to for, their social. So I kind of get it out there in all those different ways. So yeah, that's kind of what I do as far as the news. The news is really the big part of what I do. I mean, obviously I do other things as well for the Mouse for Less. But the news section of it is really the big chunk of what I do in a day. So yeah.
A couple questions, then we'll get on to the topic of the day. But I'm curious about this. Okay, so when you run because people might not know, but the Mouse for Less it gets a lot of traffic for Disney sites. I mean, it is one of the bigger ones. So mechanically, as far as getting the content up there, is it something like a WordPress where you go in and you build stuff like that, and just, and you have some stuff scheduled to come out at certain times, or what? Because I mean, that's kind of the geek in me. Like, how does that stuff get out? I like that stuff.
Absolutely. So yeah, I build it all through WordPress. So all my articles are written through WordPress. And WordPress is kind of like, for those who've never used it, it's basically like, Microsoft Word. It's just online. So I build the articles. I work on SEO content. Being the nerd that I am, and in my real life, I do obviously social media for a living as well. And so I know a lot about SEO content and things like that, which is that's essentially how Google finds you. So you have to, because, there's a lot of articles out there, and you want to be on page 1 of Google, right? So you put in little nuggets of content on your web page to kind of let people know, hey, this is what this article is about. So that way, if somebody searches this, your article will hopefully come up. So it's kind of a science to try to get everything all done. I'm obviously speaking in very easy terms with SEO. Right. I know there's a lot of actual science behind it, but just for those who have never utilized, SEO and don't know what it is, that's kind of.
And SEO, just for those, that's search engine optimization. So it's basically it's looking at what Google looks for to determine the top links.
The top search. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Search results.
Yeah. Search results. Yeah. So I do that. And then we also have the blog too, which I'm also the admin for the blog. We have fantastic bloggers who write amazing articles. Every single day we have a different article out. If you ever want to be a blogger for the Mouse for Less, I am always in need of bloggers. So you can always email me at, I guess the best way is Rikki at magically-speaking.com. That's my Mouse for Less email. And that way, I'm always looking for people to write articles. So if you're ever interested, please let me know. And I would be happy to, have you send me a sample, and we can get you, started blogging for us as well. The blogs are also another huge part of what I do, the Mouse for Less too. So, yeah. the actual blog site. Yeah.
It is super interesting though, because, you know, it all started with basically, you know, you'd have a blog and that was it. That was your one way to communicate with your audience. And then, you know, the video was added, then podcasts came around, and now you have, you know, a lot of folks that are live all the time from the destinations if they're local. And it's just,
Absolutely.
you know, now you can make TikTok videos. A lot of, I mean, Disney Parks blog has a TikTok. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Anyways,
it's crazy to see how everything has evolved, and you know, we've tried to evolve as well as, you know, we move forward with, you know, things. You know, we're a very small crew, I will admit. So you know, that part's a little challenging sometimes, but it's still a lot of fun. You know, we have a great crew that works on the Mouse for Less. It's not just me. I know that I'm like the main face of it, but we have a crew that actually does, you know, everything. They work on the menus, so we try to keep the menus for Disney as up to date as possible. You know, work on we have just a plethora of information about room rates and stuff like that. Like that's a huge thing. When all the room rates come out, we have all that up on the site. We have all the information about, you know, what guests can experience when they stay in the rooms. We have photos. You know, we have just, I mean, all kinds of information about everything, you know, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, Universal, and also Adventures by Disney too. So that's a big part of it as well.
Also, we're going to throw in the last thing, then we're getting to the backdrop. So, okay, you ready to get your mind blown? Because I didn't know this at the very first, when we first started doing this podcast. The Mouse for Less is the fan site.
Correct.
Magic for Less travel. So
correct.
I always get, you know, people that get the names confused, and I did the exact same thing until I started to figure it out. So as a travel agent with the Magic for Less, when I'm on vacation, and we all do this, all the agents, you will see us taking pictures of menus, taking pictures of rooms before we set our stuff down, videotaping. If you ever watch us eat a meal,
yes,
like if you see any of us, like the podcast crew, like Pam or Rikki and our significant others, we all know the camera eats first.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes.
To give to Rikki to put on the website. So I'm
yes, exactly. No, if I don't have a picture of the food, I mean, again, that's a huge thing that we do. We have to take pictures of the food so that way people can see what it looks like, because, you know, a picture says 1,000 words. So if somebody's browsing the menus, they want to, you know, they want to see what the, you know, prime rib looks like at Olivia's, you know. So I
like the festivals, because, you know, that's kind of like it's
absolutely
all presentation and stuff like that.
100%. And the festival, that's kind of the hard part too, is the festival food changes every single year. So like you have to get new photos of the food every single year, because like presentation, you may have already had that dish one time, but the presentation of the dish changes for the festival the next year. So you've got to get a new photo of it too. So, yeah, that's kind of the fun thing. Now I'm seeing some comments. Lisa has asked, it's a dream job. You would have to live in Orlando though, right? Well, clearly I don't live in Orlando. So I mean, I live in Atlanta. So the good news is like I get down there a lot, partially because my family lives down there now. So it's a lot easier for me to have a place to stay. But you know, if I didn't have a place to stay easily, I'm sure I would be down there just as much. So that helps out. And if you ever want to be a blogger as well, like I have bloggers from all over.